I want to welcome the Ave Maria students who are joining us this morning for Mass and for some time with the PS community as your school is fostering them and encouraging them to think about the future, think about their vocation, think about why they were created and what's their purpose in life. So welcome and thank you for choosing to spend this morning with us. Today I want to talk about the first reading, and I want to look at a specific passage of the first reading that I think it's a little bit mysterious. Bear with me. Let's go to this specific passage. It says, "For God is the one who for his good purpose works in you both to desire and to work." So let's think together. I want to put the Ave Maria kids to the test. Let's see how good are the religion teachers. So kids, if you think you know the answer, you can raise your hand. It's not going to be too hard. So what do you call that moment in your life when you know that someone, the devil, is inciting you to choose sin? What's the technical term of that incitation towards sinfulness? I'm going to ask someone who's not raising their hand. No. You. Yeah, you. No, you. Temptation. Good job. So, temptation is when an external being to us, the devil, speaks to you in your conscience and he starts saying, you should choose what's wrong. And he starts seducing you into choosing what you know it's wrong. If you fall temptation, what you do is you commit a sin and then you feel bad about yourself and you grow distant from God. Now the question is, if the devil incites you to do what's wrong, who will incite you to choose what's right? Easy question, right? Who will incite you to do what's right? You. Okay, Jesus, the Holy Spirit. So if temptation is the incitation towards something that's bad, what's the name of the encouragement to do something that's right? What's the opposite of temptation? Righteousness. But that moving towards what's good. Who wants to give it a try? You. Your conscience is always, okay, that's not the word, but you're coming close. Okay, in the back. Virtue, more or less. What about you? We got temptation on one hand, on the other hand, we got inspirations. Inspirations are those suggestions to choose what's wrong. So what the reading is telling us today is that every time that you are inclined to do what's good, guess who put that inclination in your heart? What the reading is saying is every time that you feel inclined to do something good, where do you think that inspiration came from? So I'll give you an example. One day you're at home, and suddenly you say, you know what? I should unload the washing machine. I'm not going to wait for my mom to tell me. I'm going to do it without my mom telling me. Guess who put that inspiration in your heart? Did it came from nowhere? No. It came from God. And the reading is saying every good inspiration that we receive comes from God. But the reading is saying not only the inspiration comes from God, but even the power to do it also comes from God. So, let me ask you a question. When you are in church and you're in Mass and you find yourself distracted and something says, you should pay attention. You should pay attention to the readings. You should pay attention to Mass. You should receive communion with fervor and with recollection. Who is putting those thoughts in your heart? Where are those thoughts coming from? Who is stirring you up inside so that you would choose what's good? The Holy Spirit. So think about this, guys. When you're tempted, what do you have to do? You have to flee from temptation. You have to call the temptation away. When you're inspired, what do you have to do? You have to follow the inspiration. So, what's the teaching that I want to leave you with today? While you're meant to flee from temptation, you're meant to listen to the inspirations and to follow the inspirations. So, let's finish with this. Who do you think puts the inspiration in the heart of a young man to be a priest? Where does that inspiration come from? That inspiration comes from the Holy Spirit. So let me ask you this question. Will you be able to find out if God is calling you if you're not accustomed to listen to those inspirations? Will a young man be able to discern and encounter his vocation if this young man is disconnected from the inspirations that are usually coming from the Lord from inside of his heart? The answer is no. So the teaching today is, if you ever want to find your vocation in life, you must be a man faithful to the inspiration that God puts in your heart. Because only if you grow accustomed to follow these inspirations, you will learn to listen to the inspiration that will also lead you to the priesthood. That's the reason why I'm here, why Brother Evan is preparing to be a priest, because we heard the inspiration in our hearts that was telling us, leave everything that you have and follow Jesus. So every good inspiration comes from the Holy Spirit. Learn to listen to those inspirations and to be led by those inspirations. So that in the future, if God would inspire you to be a priest, you could also learn how to listen and respond to that beautiful inspiration.